going, everybody? Welcome to Pillow Talk with Paul Goneau. My guest today is father, grandfather, DJ, podcaster, and comedian, Kevin motherfucking Spencer.
Thanks, sir. Nice to meet you. Thanks for having me on. I'm glad to come out here on a rainy, beautiful day like today.
Yeah, dude. It's a little trip from Hamilton, but I appreciate you coming down.
Oh, it's always nice to come to cleaner cities.
So, dude, straight up, we gotta talk about this first, because when you told me, I was kind of shocked. You're a grandfather.
Yeah. I don't look my age. Like, I'm thankful for that.
How old are you?
I'm gonna be 44 this year.
Oh shit! No,
Yeah.
you definitely don't look 44. I never would have guessed that.
Like my son and me, like my son's like 6'1" or whatever. So like sometimes after work we'll go to the liquor store like on Fridays, and a couple weeks ago they asked me for ID, and he's like, "Yo, that's my dad." I was like, "That's pretty cool." That, it still happens, but fuck it. At least being a young grandfather, better being a grandfather when you're like 90.
How old's your? So you have a grandson or
grandson 4.
4.
Yeah.
About to be grandfather for a second time, eh?
That's true, yes.
Shoot.
Fucking excited, so.
So how old's your son?
23. Like, my birthday's November 2nd. Mm-hmm. So he was born on October 20th. So I was 19, just turned 20. His son was born October 15th, so he was just turning 20. So it's almost parallel to the same as me. So that's pretty cool.
That's crazy, man. That's crazy. I was just,
How old are you?
Me? I'm 35.
Oh, yeah.
35.
I would have guessed around like 30.
Yeah?
So, yeah.
Yeah, I think I have like the same young gene as you, where it's like we don't look our age.
It's a good thing.
It's a good thing and it's a bad thing.
Yeah, I see people I went to school with sometimes, like I haven't seen in years. It's like they look like they're 60.
Yeah.
And it's like, wow.
Yeah, I'm like, I feel like most people from my high school have gained, not everybody, I'm not saying this, but it's like you see everybody, they're just a little thicker and thicker versions of their high school selves, and like somehow, I don't know, I think just from being poor, really, I managed to stay skinny, you know what I mean?
My diet plan was not having money.
Not eating ramen noodles and half a can of corn every night for dinner.
With no money really helped my figure.
You know what, man? And like, I think actually having like a hard upbringing kind of benefited me now. Like it really benefits the way I look at things and I like the way I appreciate.
Yeah, okay, that makes sense. Yeah, we well, you're not that much younger than me, but it's different. Like I appreciate things more. So yeah, I get what you're saying on that aspect, and I don't know. I think now people don't like view things and appreciate things as much as we did. They take things for granted.
Yeah, for sure.
Like we talk about struggling. I mean, we've all struggled, most of us, and like I think a lot of people are like don't struggle as much. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I grew up around a lot of people that their hardships were like, oh, my mom's not lending me the car. Oh, like my parents aren't gonna give me a Canada's Wonderland season pass. Like those, it's like I can see that everyone goes through things, but like my outlook, and like some people are gonna disagree with that, and that's fine. But my outlook is not everyone has a hard life, man.
No.
I really truly don't. It's like comparing like my life to someone like, like Hugh Hefner's son.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like the things that we're gonna like, I've struggled to pay my bills, and there's just certain things that he's at a higher level of I don't know what to call it, but
like he's never gonna have in the back of his head like, okay, I gotta have this money for that day, like that never goes in that guy's
And that's
head.
not saying like he's not gonna deal with depression or like deaths and deal with sadness or other things, but it's just like and even me, like I don't even want to act like I've had it bad, because even when I've been like homeless so many times, and even then, it's like I've been working. Like, I've been homeless before and had 2 jobs, like a full-time job and a part-time job, and still just been sleeping at a shelter.
Oh, shit, eh?
And it's like, even in those situations, I'm like most of those people have it worse than me.
Yeah.
And it's just like,
Well, I went to Disneyland.
Oh, you did?
When I was like 15.
Shit.
And I went there because I went through sick kids, but every kid that, like, it's gonna sound dark, every kid that went on that trip that day is dead now, probably, guaranteed.
What, did you have something back in
Well,
the day?
I have Crohn's disease.
Oh, okay.
And I've had it since I was 13, right?
Oh, shit.
But when I was turning 15, McMaster told my dad, they're like, hey, like, we could send Kevin to Disneyland through this thing called the Sunshine Foundation.
Mm-hmm.
So I was like, yeah, I'm down. I only went for the day. They gave me $35 American, and we had to meet, like, this army guy down there, and, like, someone from the Sunshine Foundation. They took us groups of, like, 2 kids and then them. And the kid I was with, like, I forget what he had, but he was, yeah, you know, he's probably gonna die, like, a couple of years. Like, there was like your Make-A-Wish type thing. You're like, the last thing, right?
Yeah.
And it's like a lot of those kids, they went there. It's like now, like, I kind of felt like after I got back, like these kids had it hard. And I'm like,
yeah.
I
was there ever something in you that was, like, in the back of your mind? It's like, am I gonna die? Am I gonna, like...
Is this the end?
Like, you found out you had Crohn's at a young age, then, eh?
Yeah, I was sick when I was, like, 12. And they couldn't figure out what was wrong with me. Mm-hmm. And I went for, like, a good year. And then finally McMaster diagnosed me. So, well, yeah, and then I was sick from 13 to, like, almost 18, like, in and out of the hospital. And then I've had, like, rough patches here and there, but generally I'm pretty healthy now.
Yeah, it seems like you're doing...
Yeah, I do pretty good now.
You're doing good. I didn't even know. You just fucking...
Yeah, I started, like, I gained weight for the first time ever.
Awesome.
I gained 30 pounds in a year. And that was unheard of for me. I could never gain weight. But this other guy that has Crohn's, my son, like, did MMA fighting. Mm-hmm. So the one guy that is involved in that told me he had Crohn's. And I'm like, you're like 230. You're like a jacked dude. Like, you had it? And he's like, yeah. And he's like, I'm like, how did you gain weight? And he told me. He gave me this, like, diet plan and all this stuff. And I started doing that and working out. And, yeah, I gained 30 pounds. So
that's awesome, dude. So Crohn's makes it...
It's hard to gain weight.
Super ignorant. So
it's hard to gain weight. Like, you can't... Like, it's like... I could eat, like, 5 plates of spaghetti and nothing.
Yeah.
So...
Fuck, man, that's crazy. I've never been to Disneyland. I've always wanted to go.
I always want to go back, but maybe one day. Because I'm like a big kid. I'm a big kid.
With your next grandkid, man.
Yeah, go on a family trip.
Maybe you'll be allowed to go in the States by then. Are we allowed to travel to the States right now? Because I know, because, like, they're back to normal now.
Texas is wide open. Florida's wide open.
Yeah.
Ontario, you can't have 2 people in a park.
It's ridiculous.
It's like,
people are like, I've seen, like, packed stadium shows for, like, wrestling events and concerts. Like, every band I know is going on tour, like, this month.
Like, I don't, like, yeah, okay, so, you know, there's a conspiracy theorists and shit like that. People, like, shit. I don't believe in a lot of conspiracy stuff, right? Mm. However, the one thing I will say, fucking... I was just in a relationship with this girl, and her aunt would come by her house, and her aunt was so into COVID. Like, COVID, all this woman talked about was COVID. She's like, do you know the numbers are going up? And all she talked about. So I couldn't even handle that. Now, I believe, like, so that, well, the one day she comes by, complaining about COVID the whole time, whatever. So we're in bed at night, and my girlfriend started watching Grey's Anatomy. Yeah. And I'm not one to watch Grey's Anatomy.
No,
but one of the part of the episode was this guy was in there and he had COVID, and he was telling the nurse that it's not real, it's fake, and he was really amping it up, like 2000 level of like, I'm not gonna believe this is real. Like, he's like one of those type of people.
Did he die?
No, the guy lived. But I was kind of actually pulling for him to die.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Like,
I'm watching this, I'm like...
On his deathbed, like, okay, it's real.
I would have been like, yeah, buddy, see? But at the end of the episode, like, the guy survives the shit. Now, I know there are people like that. I'm not that level. I know it's real, right?
Yeah.
But I cannot understand how they closed the whole world down for it like that. You know what I mean? I think when it started, people that have underlying health issues or seniors and shit like that, take care of them. Make sure, like, you know, all those people are taken care of first. Yeah. But don't, like, why should all this other stuff be closed down? Why should parks, out in a park, be closed? You know what I mean? Like, to me, I look at it differently. Like,
I don't even think it's that differently. I think a lot of people feel the same way, and a lot of people on the fence. It's like they don't want to endanger people and they don't want to seem selfish, but they realize that this is kind of ridiculous. I think a lot of people were over it after, like, the second lockdown or whatever it was.
Like there's people I know that I never in a million years would ever expected this. Like some really serious bad people posting, I got my vaccine shot. It's like I get it. Most of my people on my Facebook have posted it.
Yeah.
And I'm like, like even close friend, like one of my best friends got it and did post it.
My girlfriend got it.
And I'm like, all right, like yo, like I don't want to get it, right? But even if I did, I can't. I'm someone that posts everything. You know, I post 20 times a day. I'm still not gonna post like I got my shot. To me, I just don't see the point of doing that. That's like those people that wear the mask when they're driving their cars. Like, what are you doing? Like, stop. Like.
Yeah, I don't know. I think a lot of it is just to fit in.
They do. It's like, look, guys, look, we're in a cult.
Yeah, I mean, essentially, guys, yeah, it's kind of like that, right?
And like, I'm all for different opinions, yo. Believe what you want, do what you want. Yo, if you think that's good for you, do it. Hey, more power to you. But don't smash me down because I don't agree with you with all you're doing. You know what I mean? Like.
Yeah.
We're all different. We're all different. And I just can't see myself getting that vaccine, especially so early on.
No, I've talked about it so many times, and I'll probably never get it. I don't see the purpose. It doesn't seem like there's... My girlfriend got it, when did she get it? Last Friday?
Yeah.
All weekend complaining about her arm. Like, she milked
really?
it so hard. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Did you have any, like, COVID scares, though? Like, did you ever think to yourself, like, maybe I got it?
Never, man.
I did.
Never.
I did a couple times. Well, the one time I was at work, I was working at this job last year, and they had to do that. The gun you had, the temperature gun.
Yeah.
So I went in that night. My temperature was fine. I was working on like 12-hour shifts, so I was like, this was a nighttime one. Around like 3 a.m, I started feeling like death. Like I was like cold inside, and it was like warm in the factory. It was like July or something, right? So I put on like I saw my winter coat for some reason in my locker. I went and put it on, and my one buddy walked by, like, Kev, are you alright? I'm like, freezing inside. I kept going in this oven, standing. Like, we had these, like, drying racks, these, like, sheets. So I kept going in them, standing there for, like, 10 minutes, come back out. So then my one buddy's like, Kev, like, check your temperature. Go check your temperature. So I went and checked it, and it was, like, fucking, like, 39, almost 40, like, way above what was supposed to be. So he's like, all right, well, you can go home, right? So when I went home, next day I felt great, but then they had to make me do a COVID test, right? So I got that done. I didn't have it. And then...
How long did that take? From when you got it to when you got the results?
They made me download this app. And then I checked it, I think it was like 3 days. And I was good.
So it's like all those 2-3 days, you're just like, well, do I fucking have it? You're not going anywhere? Is that the case? The
weird part was after... Like, as soon as I got the test done, I felt great, though. Like, it was like after I slept, when I got home from that, I felt amazing when I woke up. To be honest with you, I think the problem was because I worked like 3 days on, 4 days off. Those 4 days I had before that one day, I was drinking a lot. So I think it was like a lot of wild nights led into that. Like, I'm like, oh, I'm good. I'm going to go for a 12-hour shift. And then into the shift, I'm like, now I'm catch up to me. I think that's what it was because I was fine after that. And then the one night I took an edible. Yeah. And I'm this type of person, like, let's say, like, there's a burning building and you're in it. You're going to fight like hell to get out. You don't have that, I have that never die attitude, right? Yeah. I took the edible, I went to bed, and I felt like a scratch in my throat. I'm laying there like, this is it. I thought I was dying. I'm, like, looking at the ceiling, like, no fight in me. I'm like, I'm actually, like, planning, I'm like, I had a good life. I'm like, I didn't have no desire to, I'm like, this is how I die. But then I woke up, it was good. So that was my second COVID scare.
I've never really been scared to die of COVID.
No.
But I had thought this is how it ends. It was a moment when I was going bungee jumping a few years ago.
Ooh.
Yeah, and like heights is kind of one of my fears, I guess, if not like it's probably my biggest fear other than like death.
Yeah, that's fine.
But I've never been one to kind of let fear control me. I'm like, I love going on roller coasters, and I love jumping off of like 50, 60-foot cliffs into water and things like that. Like, I love all that shit. And so, like, I was like, yeah, I'm going to go bungee jumping. And I knew I wouldn't wuss out. Yeah. Like, I was like, I'm fucking paying like $100 and whatever bucks. Like, I'm for sure. Yeah, for sure. And I want to go skydiving eventually. Maybe film it, put it on here. Nice. But, just like, they're wrapping me up And I'm watching how they kind of wrap the ankle. Have you ever been bungee jumping?
No, dog.
And so it's like there's a rope, and then they put a towel in between so the rope doesn't move, and it's like...
Just saying, when you described that scared me.
Yeah, just so watching them, it's like...
If the guy was telling me that, I'd be like, no.
Well, it really does make the rope snug.
But no, but just hearing that in my head, like... So
seeing how it's happening, I'm like, oh, fuck, like, how is that... Like, I'm gonna die.
Like, hearing that, like, so the rope don't move. Like, whoa, buddy, no, I'm good.
Yeah, so there's like a rope in between, or a towel in between the rope and your ankles, so it doesn't like fucking snap your ankles or whatever.
Oh yeah, I guess that.
And so I'm just thinking the towel's gonna slip off at some point. The rope hole's gonna be too big, you know. And so, I saw my girlfriend at the time do it. Like she went up, she's like standing there. They kind of make you wiggle to like the edge of the platform, and then you're supposed to like just fall forward, right? Took her like 30 seconds, maybe a minute, and I'm up there for like 5 minutes easy, and there's a whole bunch of people on the bridge watching me, cheering for me and all this shit, and I'm like, I'm gonna fucking go when I want to go, you know? And
nice.
The guys that are, there's I guess a guy, there's two people basically running the jump, you know, one securing you and one running some other shit, and they're trying to hype me up. And so they start doing like the Superman theme because I'm wearing this Superman shirt with a fucking red cape, dude.
Oh,
it's
wow.
fucking sick. Yeah, it's just a shirt, but like it does have like this Velcro cape that goes on the shoulders. And so they start doing that, and I'm all right. Count to 3, and they just counted to 3, and I fucking fell forward, and like it felt like the whole drop. It was the second highest place to bungee jump in North America.
Oh wow.
Yeah, the highest place is actually in Quebec. I think this place is tied for another place, but it's still second.
How high was it?
Like 150, 160 feet.
Yikes.
Yeah, so, and it's over like water. Before I jumped to, the guy's like, hey man, do you wanna touch the water? I'm like, fuck no, dude. Like, I wanna be like
away from
50 feet above the water. You know, not really, but like, I definitely don't want to touch it. I don't want to feel like I'm, he's like, all right. And so, like, just in that probably like 2 seconds of the free fall, I was definitely like, this snap, as soon as I bounce, I'm gonna know if I'm dead. Like, this is it.
Yeah. Well, I don't like heights, but it's weird. My buddy is a pilot, and he bought his own plane like not long ago, and I'll go flying with him, right? I'm fine like that. But if I'm like watching like on TV, if there's like a movie or something, someone's up high, like a building ledge, my stomach rises, man. Like it freaks me out.
I don't like balconies that are like higher.
I don't like that either.
Higher than like 4 stories. 3 stories is okay. I feel like I could survive.
I went with my one buddy. This girl lived on how many stories? 3?
3 stories, I think you could survive.
Yeah, I think.
Like how high is that?
Yeah, 3 you'd survive.
Was it stories like 12 feet or something?
You'd break a bone or something, possibly an ankle or something. But you'd survive. But but no, this girl like lived on like the 11th floor or something. And my buddy, he had to go to her house. And I'm standing in the living room, and I'm watching her like sitting on the balcony thing, and I'm like, why? Like, what in your head would make you do that? Like, one little slip, and you're done. Like, for me, my stomach I was like, buddy, I gotta go. I told my friend, I'm like, let's get the hell out of here. Like, I can't. It's freaking me out. Like, I do not like heights like that. I was telling my buddy on the way here, I was watching a video. The guy was doing pull-ups.
Yeah.
On the side of the building. He put the phone up to film him doing it, and you see his hand slip. And it was like the tallest building in like
watching those videos gives me mad anxiety. My heart rate races just watching them.
Like, to me, like, why would you do that? Like, I get it. You're not
People
impressed.
Love that thrill, man.
It's adrenaline, yeah, but like you're not. Like, if someone tells me they do that, I'm not really impressed. I just think you're dumb. I'm like, there's better. Like, I don't know, you're risking everything. Like.
Yeah, I mean, just to
do a cartwheel, like,
get some views on YouTube. Right? I think that's kind of a little ridiculous.
Yo, I did it. I got another 18 subscribers.
Yeah, and I'm almost certain I've seen a video of a guy who was doing like parkour up at the top of a building and like fell off.
Yeah.
From like 300 feet up in the air.
You're just watching that, like, wow.
It's terrifying.
But hey, yo, to each your own. If you want to be crazy and die.
Yeah, I've been looking at apartment buildings because I'm thinking of moving, having some issues with the landlord. We can get into that in a minute, actually. But
landlords can be a treat.
Just looking at, because there's, we're in Mississauga. A lot of the places are so, like, I have a dog and a cat. So, I mean, it's hard to find pet-friendly basements.
True. That's true.
You know, so mostly like our options are mostly just apartment buildings, and I'm kind of against it. But I mean, I'm willing to move into an apartment building as long as the washer and dryer is in the unit.
Oh, okay.
Like I feel like that scam. It's like the amount that you pay yearly. Like we did the math, and like we might as well just be paying like $2,500 for rent and have the washer and dryer. We'd still save money if you're like, because I mean, it also depends on how much laundry you do, but I mean that's like, you know, a couple thousand a year, like in laundry, and it's like I'm not willing to do that. So, I mean, then it, you know, narrows it down even more. But we're looking at apartments that are like 10 stories and stuff like that, and they're really nice, but like I just can't. I can't do it myself. I just seems like such a, if there's a fire, like I watched that movie Skyscraper like a few months ago, with The Rock, and it's like, see, this is exactly what I'm talking about, you know?
If you did move though and something happened like that, you can look at your girlfriend and be like, see, just like Skyscraper.
Yeah, like I fucking told you
this is coming. I warned you.
As we're dying, just like, that's right. I was right and you were wrong.
I'm not Dwayne Johnson. How do we get
I'm definitely not saving the day. That's
how are we getting out of this?
I don't have the arms to save the day. I have the arms to save maybe like a dog. You know?
I got the cat in. What you carrying? Grab a toaster. Do something. Save us.
But yeah, yo. So the reason I'm moving is I've had a lot of issues with this landlord over the last year.
Landlords are awful sometimes, man.
Yeah.
I want to be one day.
And to be honest, like when I first moved in, everything was fine. Like something happened. So yeah, my dog just turned 1.
Yeah.
And right when we got him, we had, you know, signed a new lease. My girlfriend moved in last year. We signed a new lease. And when we were signing it, we were talking about how, like, we're thinking about getting a puppy. And they were kind of like, they were on the fence. But I was just like, well, if there's any damage, like, for sure I'm going to pay for it. Like, I've been maintaining the place. I think it actually looks better now than it did when we moved in because we've painted a couple things. And, so then, you know, they were pretty much fine with it. And then the first week we got him, within like 3-4 days, right? And even to this day, like our dog Chester does not make a lot of noise at all. He's not a barker.
Okay,
half the time, golden retriever.
Oh, nice.
Half the time he doesn't even bark when there's a knock at the door.
Oh wait, I see pictures of your dog. Yeah.
Yeah, he's fucking super cute guy.
Chester,
Chester Bennington.
Nice.
Yeah. And so I'm at work. And like my girlfriend's texting me like, oh, like Tony's mom just came down. The landlord is technically Tony's mom, but she doesn't speak English very well. Okay. So Tony generally deals with us. And so there was like, I don't know, some yelling between the mom. She was like yelling at my girlfriend, and then my girlfriend closed the door on her, and then Tony came down and like yelled at her, and my girlfriend said that he kind of like kicked the dog. And so like I left work. I came home, and we had like a rational discussion. Like we were civil.
Yeah.
Everything was fine. And towards the end of our conversation on the patio, he was just like, "Well, you know, man, like we've been good for so long, and you know now that things are getting like this, I'm just gonna look at what, you know, the average rent is for people, and I'm gonna raise the rent to that." And I was just like, and he had just raised it from the previous year by $50.
Yeah, and they're like a limit they're supposed to be.
Absolutely, and it's it's like a percentage. So so technically he wasn't even allowed to raise it that $50. So I was just kind of like, well, you know, like there's only a limit, you can raise it every year, and you already raised it more than you could last year.
Yeah.
And then his last thing that he said to me in that conversation was, "We'll see." And then literally since then he's fucking just an insane amount of harassment and one issue after another that like was never an issue for the first 7 years that I was here
until now.
You know, like I originally there's a shelf in the furnace room. And obviously you're supposed to have a certain amount of space from the furnace. We didn't have a lot of stuff in there, dude. Like I mean very minimal stuff.
Yeah.
It was our only storage area. There's a shelf that he put on there. When I first moved in, he was like, "Oh yeah, you can use this for a little bit of storage." And so I did. And now all of a sudden he's like, "Oh, you can't use that." So he put a lock on the door, made us take all our shit out.
Nice.
And then just basically saying I smoke in the house. And you've seen, like, my bong is outside. I don't even bring my my bong inside so it doesn't make the house smell. I keep my weed in a jar, not in a bag.
You keep your bong in the cockfighting ring outside.
Yeah.
I was like, yo, like,
man, you're fucking blowing my cover, dude.
So I mean the cage for the dog. Clearly.
And like saying we're smoking in the house. My girlfriend doesn't even smoke, first of all.
I was gonna ask you, do you both smoke?
And we basically like pretty civil people. He are trying to remain civil, but
is
he's
your son around your age?
I'm not exactly sure. I want to say he is probably like somewhere in between us, like probably around our age. And like every time we have a complaint, like they just say something back and they never really address the issue. We complained around Christmas for like 2 weeks around Christmas. There was just like my room is on the other side, and then they have a basement room on the other side of our room.
Yeah.
And he was just like blasting movies or watching something, maybe playing video games. I can't really say movies, but I assume they're movies because it was just going on for so long. Maybe binge watching a show. Whatever the case, it was really insanely loud, bro. And like, I'm not the kind of guy to complain ever, you know, but this is like repeatedly,
like you can hear
every night, like a lot. Like it's not just a little bit where we can turn up ours like two
to kind of like
numbers just to kind
balance
of you know,
it.
Exactly. You can't do that. There's no drowning it out. And so after 2 weeks, we send him a message.
It's like he's watching Die Hard again.
And fucking, you know, like this is the 16th time in 2 days, bro. And then so that really started another thing. They gave us like one of their, I guess it's called an N7.
Oh, yeah.
And so when we said this shit, they right away is like, stop smoking. It smells like weed. Bro, we've been laying in bed for like 3 hours trying to go to sleep. Like no one's... Like, I haven't smoked for, like, 4 hours, and last time I did, I was outside. Like, you're completely bullshitting.
Yeah.
You know? And in the N7, it's like, oh, the tenants said they had, they could hear really easily through the wall, and we put noise or soundproof insulation in the wall, so the tenant must have, like, taken the wall out and removed the insulation. Just, like, crazy things, and we're like, what the fuck?
Dude,
and so
that sounds like the worst headaches in the world. Right?
The grass was damaged. Our dog, you saw the pen? Our dog doesn't go on the grass. We replaced the grass, even though, you know, it was already damaged. Just to save face, they complained. We paid to have the fucking washer and dryer
that's only been
repaired.
in, like, the last, like, year.
Last year, bro.
After, like, being here so long.
Yeah.
Dude, that's rough. Man.
Saying we can't smoke outside. Like, bro, I've been smoking here for fucking 7 years. And it's like, you just finished saying we were smoking inside, and now you're saying, now you're trying to catch us smoking outside, like, recording us and shit.
Wow.
Yeah, and the very last thing that happened... like I was outside trying to get my day. It was like early, like 8:30, 9 a.m., something like that. And I was like smoking my first bowls of the morning. Brought my dog out to go pee on his mat in the pen, not on the fucking grass. And as I'm like I smoke my bowl and I'm like, Chester, fucking go potty, man. Go potty, like trying to get him to go, you know? And they come down, both of them, the mom and Tony. And they're like recording me. They're like going around and they're just like have their cameras on me. And so I was just kind of like, what's wrong with you guys? You know, and I basically told Tony what I thought of him. And then time passes. Next day, about 2 p.m., I'm here, legit, like, in the dark, not working that day, fucking playing video games, sitting on the couch with my dog and my cat. Bang, bang, bang! Go to the door, it's fucking cops. I open the door. I'm like, what's going on, guys? And I'm a little nervous. I have my phone. I was, like, recording, like... And they're just like, all right, so we got this call from the people upstairs, your landlord, and they're basically accusing you of having a clandestine drug den in your basement. And I just kind of like laughed.
I turned the house into a trap.
First of all, because I didn't fully know what clandestine meant.
Yeah.
And second, because like, man, I've been like clean for so many, like almost 10 years now. I just smoke pot. Yeah. I don't even drink. Like I get drunk maybe like 4 or 5 times a year.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, good job.
So it's like, I'm like, yeah, you guys can definitely come in and check things out. I'm like opening closet doors, and the main guy, it's like 3, so there's 4 cops. There's 3 younger guys and 1 older guy who's visibly agitated. He thinks this is ridiculous.
Yeah.
And he's like, you know, searching the place and kind of like apologizing. And I'm like, oh yeah, no, it's no big deal, guys. Like I have nothing to hide. Like my weed's right here. My bong's outside. You saw it. That's all I got. was like opening closets. They weren't even really,
necessity, like a thing.
Yeah, and they were like, I was like showing them extra shit just to, opening boxes and things like that and fucking.
Did you guys want to see this comic?
As they're leaving. No, actually, they went into the room and he's like, fucking, you have a Hulk 140 something,
really?
something?
No,
and I was like, no,
cool.
I don't really collect Hulk. And he's like, fuck, man, I would have bought it off you. Like, and they're just like the coolest guys. And as they're leaving, the cop's like, yeah, so like, I'm going to go upstairs and talk to your landlord right now because this is bullshit. There's a fire truck up there. And, like, we have 3 cop cars, and this is completely unnecessary.
So you were fucking like...
And I'm like, it's one of the few times I've actually had positive encounters with the police. Usually they're not like this. But I was like, guys, like, I'm sorry as well. Like, obviously I didn't want this. And he's like, yeah, make sure you... Because I was explaining that we're already going through. We were waiting to get our hearing date. Mm-hmm. We got it now. It's July 29th. He's like, definitely, like, file this and let them know because, like, it's nonsense. And then he went up. Talked to the guy, and I just kind of went up and documented it, for the court hearing. But fucking wild, bro.
Well, I've had a couple bad landlords. The one, I want to buy a house. A couple years, like that's my goal. A couple years now, I want to buy a house. Right?
Yeah, me too.
That's my plan. But no, I had this one landlord. She, I don't know what country she was from, but it's like where they have different beliefs of like how things should be done. Type deal, like where she's like, she figured if I have a tenant in my country did this is what they have to do here, but she didn't understand there's different rules.
Yeah.
And stuff. So the one day, my son lived with me from the age of 12 to 18, and he's about 15 at the time, and I'm asleep, and I was doing like band bookings and stuff. It was just after my father passed away. I was doing these band bookings and shit, so I was like at bars and stuff till like 2, 3. I'd come home, so I was asleep. My son was getting ready for school. He comes in my room. He's like, Dad, the landlady's here. I'm like, tell her I'll come down a bit because the window broke in the bathroom. And she came up a couple days before that. She came up to tell me not to shower in the morning, right? Because she goes, can you shower in the afternoon or something? I'm like, well, I'm going to go out in the morning. Like, if I'm going to go out, start my day, I'm going to shower before I go. Mm-hmm. Why do I have to wait till afternoon, right? So I'm like, don't tell me when I can shower.
For sure.
That's an insane thing to say. Then she was dead set on it. She put notes under the door about when to shower. She had a schedule plan, like weird shit, right?
That's fucking.
So wild. I couldn't deal with it. I didn't like her. So I tell my son, like, just tell her I'll be down the bed about the window, and he's like, nah, she's in the apartment. She walked right in. I'm like, he goes, I woke up, Dad. I came to the living room. She was there. I'm like, that's an odd thing. Like she was like just poking around, like walked right into my place.
Yeah, they have to give notice.
So I come out. I'm like, what are you doing? And she's like, I wanted to talk. I'm like, you can't just walk in someone's apartment. And she's like, well, the window, I need to know the window. And I'm like, yeah, you can wait and come see it. I'll let you see it. Like, you can't just walk right in.
There's other ways of communicating. Right?
And then she's like, she was just hell to live with. Like, hell, like, to be a landlady for. Like, so, after I left that place, a year or so ago, I thought everything was going to be good. Like, I was not going to have, like, a situation like that again. I moved into this basement apartment, beautiful apartment, and fucking the owner of the place had the rent set, like he set it to where like it wasn't anywhere near what the market was, so it was like it's very cheap rent. Like it was a very rare thing to find. This girl I knew lived there, but she was moving in with her boyfriend, so she told the landlord about me. So that's how I got it. So I moved in, everything was great. The lady that lived above me was this old lady, lived with her son. Her son was probably like mid-20s, right? Like 26, 27. But he was this white kid that talked like he was Jamaican.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And he thought he was in like, he must have saw like a lot of hip-hop movies or something. Like this guy thought he was like from every gang in the world. Like that, he had that attitude.
I know those guys.
And the one day, my girlfriend I was with at the time, I thought she was cheating on me. Had a little bit of insecurities. I'm looking out the window because I let her move in with me. Mm-hmm. And she bought her like, she had a daughter that was like 1 year old. Daughter was cool little girl. That's the only bad part about breaking up that girl because the kid was cool.
Yeah, so the worst part.
I'm looking out the window and I'm like, I see this car pull up, and I see like Tasha get out, and I'm like, is this like who? Is she cheating? So it turns out this guy was her brother. I was actually wrong. I made it, but the car drives off. So I come out. I'm like, who's actually my brother? I'm like,
Well, you never know, bro. You ever seen That's My Boy?
Yes.
You never know, dog.
Right?
That shit's fucked. Yeah.
See, there we go, right? So I'm like arguing with her, and I don't like. I've never liked when couples fight in public. To me, like you look as ghetto as hell. Like, don't do that.
Yeah.
So it was nighttime, like 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock at night. I'm arguing with her on the lawn, and the woman comes out, and she's like, "Can you keep it down? Like, I want you know." And I was
the landlady?
Yeah, no, this lady didn't. The owner of the place lived in Toronto.
Okay.
So this lady lived upstairs. She wasn't a landlady. She was just like the tenant.
Gotcha.
So she comes out, and she's like, "Can you keep it down?" And I said, "Oh, yeah, no, I got you. Like, I'm sorry, right?" I go back into the house, and their son comes out, and he starts yelling at me, like, in, like Jamaican dog. Like, "Yo, fam, what go on?" I'm like, "You're whiter than me, bro. Like, I know Jamaicans. Imagine they were with me right now seeing this." I was like, this is sad. So there's a scrap metal guy who used to come around and collect stuff. So there's like a CD rack on the lawn, and like this microwave. Mm-hmm. So stupidity. I'm a lot better now. For a small person, I used to get angry a lot. Mm-hmm. I went to throw the CD rack at him, but it came apart. So I look ridiculous. If they hadn't filmed, like, it would have looked sad because I would have thrown it and it came all apart. Didn't even have no effect, right? So then I threw the microwave, went right through the front window, and he went in the house. I went up to the door. I went to grab the hand. I don't know why, but then I hear him say, "Yo, Ma, call the cops." As soon as I heard that, I'm like, I think I'm fucked now. So I'm sitting on the front steps just waiting because I knew the police were going to come. They did. And they're like, look, they talked to the lady, they talked to me. Mm-hmm. My girl at the time backed up my story. So we're talking. They're like, listen, we don't know what the landlord's going to do. They can't press charges on you. We don't know, right? This lady is not very happy with you. Mm-hmm. The lady lived upstairs. So I'm like, yeah, understandable. So I had to talk to the landlord the next day. I damaged the door of my apartment, and I spiderwebbed the bathroom window. I hit it. So the landlord came down the next day, said that lady wanted to put a restraining order on me. Mm. So I'm like, well, how's that going to work? I live downstairs. He's like, here's what we can do. I can charge you, we can charge you. Or you can void your lease and pay the damages. I was like, I'll do that. So that's how that ended up.
And how much time, like, you had to move out? How much time did they give you?
Oh, no, literally, I could have done that thing where you say, like, give me to X amount of time. Yeah. But knowing what had happened, and just in my head mentally, I'm like, I don't want to see these people. Mm-hmm. And especially that guy. So I was like, I'll go to my sister's today. I'll leave. Like, yo, like, I'll pay your damages. I understand what I did was stupid. Yeah. I completely owned up to it, and I was like, I'll leave and shit. But that landlord had a right. But the landlady I told you about beforehand that walked right in my place didn't.
No, definitely not.
And there are awful landlords in this world. I want to be a landlord one day. Mm-hmm. I don't want to be like that. I want to be like, I heard it's also could be a headache too, right? You got to get the right tenants. Right. But if you got good tenants and shit, be good to them. You know, yeah. Don't be a douche. Like, there's no reason to be like that.
And that's the problem with this guy. It's like, man, I've gone out of my way. Like, I've had 2 other roommates before my girlfriend moved in. Mm. And, like, from the beginning, gone out of my way just to, like, keep peace and clear up any issue, like, right away, you know? So, I don't know, man. But I'm kind of tired of talking about my shitty fucking landlord.
Understandable.
Let's try some snacks, dude.
Sure.
So, finally got a new box from Tokyo Treat, which means I have the pamphlet now, guys. For, like, I feel like maybe, like, 5 or 6 episodes, I was going through the last box, and I threw this away. So right off the bat, I couldn't really tell what the things were. Yeah. But yeah, man. You pick one, I'll pick one. We'll fucking try them out. Maybe we can go through some top 5 stuff.
Sounds great.
Yeah.
Ooh.
What's that?
Raspberry Kit Kats?
Yeah, right.
They look like
fun with that. They actually sent like a bunch of Kit Kats.
You know what? No, like, I was never like a candy person up until like the past couple years. Yeah. I love candy. I do it all. Like I'll have an edible. Yeah. Candy before I go to bed.
Yeah. It's like I have like those Sour Patch Kids edibles, and I chase them with real Sour Patch Kids because they just leave so much fucking weed taste in your mouth.
I just had a bunch of M&Ms and Reese's Pieces the other day, like the edibles. They were pretty good.
Yeah, so you got that. Raspberry Kit Kats, that's pretty self-explanatory.
June snack menu.
Yeah. Let's Oh, there was a drink I wanted to... I'll maybe try the drink on the next one. What are these? So these are just, I guess, regular gummies. Kogumi gummies. Kojumi gummies.
Dude, these are great.
Soda, blood orange, muscat, energy drink. There's an energy drink flavor? Alright, I'll try that in a second.
Yeah, yo, the Kit Kats are pretty dope.
Yeah?
Mm-hmm. Not bad. Well done. Tokyo Snack Company?
Tokyo Treat.
Tokyo Treat.
Yeah.
Nice. Good job, Tokyo Treat.
It's actually fun, and sometimes they send... Like, I don't put all the candies in here, because some of them you can't really share.
Mm-hmm.
So, I have a bunch of, like, other stuff from the outside. I really enjoy getting these. And you know what? When I first started getting them, they weren't very good. Mm-hmm. But, man, they've been killing it lately.
Nice.
Check out Tokyo Treat.
Will do.
Oh my god. I don't know what one's energy drink. These just seem like standard gummies. Yeah. Like those, what are those fucking, are they called dots? Or something you get on Halloween? Are they called dots?
Yeah, dots.
They kind of taste like that, but they're softer.
Joe, I like, I never, you know, adults rockets, whatever they're called, those powdery.
Oh yeah.
I don't like those.
No, I'm not a big fan.
They're like.
I feel like everyone always. Those
everyone
are the
got
last
them on
thing
Halloween. I like Tootsie Rolls. I used to get those. I think those were pretty good.
And like in the beginning, you're like, all right, I'll try a couple packs of rockets, but by like the second one, you're like, fuck the rest of this shit.
Yeah, it's all like pure powder. It's gross.
Actually, I really like these. There's some weird fucking anime character. Do you like anime? Do you know who those guys are?
No. You know what? I'm a huge fan of like cartoons and stuff like that. And my anime knowledge is not good.
No.
Not really. Yeah, you don't know much about anime?
Not really.
I like superhero cartoon, like these like DC movies and shows and shit like that, or like shows like Justice League or the X-Men, the cartoons, like all stuff like that.
Yeah.
But never really any anime.
Well, that's a good little segue, bro, because one of our top fives.
Yeah.
Well, actually, we're doing Marvel movies and DC movies. What do you want to start with?
Marvel, sure.
All right.
Are we just doing like the MCU or all Marvel?
Yeah, so I just think like any Marvel property really. That's like a feature-length film. It could be animated, you know, whatever.
Top 5, eh?
Do you want to start? I can start with that.
Sure, go ahead.
All right. Guardians of the Galaxy, man. I think it's the best thing that Marvel has.
Are you going 5 or 1 or 1 to 5?
I usually start at 1.
Okay.
Would you think it would be better if I started at 5?
No, that's what I would have done.
Yeah?
No, yeah, do you.
Shit.
This is called Pillow Talk, not Kevin Talk. Do you, brother?
Yeah, so Guardians of the Galaxy for sure is my number 1.
All right.
Deadpool, number 2.
Nice.
No, I don't really, not much to say. I think my number 3 is one that, you know, most people have slept on, to be honest. But Venom is my number 3, man.
I like Venom. It's a good movie.
I really thought it was, well, first of all, way better than I thought it would be. Like, going into it, hearing, you know, them doing a Venom movie without Spider-Man.
Yeah, and they got a lot of bad reviews at first. And stuff.
Did it?
Yeah, I liked it.
I'm not even sure. I really enjoyed it.
It's like it reminded me of like the old style comic book movie, like where like you know they took it back a bit. They made it like campy-ish.
Yeah, it was. Yeah.
I liked it. I liked it a lot.
Yeah, like Sony kind of they're hit or miss with the stuff, but the stuff they did good. Like I really like
the good stuff.
The
is
earlier
good.
Exactly. That's what I was gonna say.
Then the bad is bad.
So Venom number 3. Spider-Verse, Into the Spider-Verse. Into the Spider-Verse?
That was funny. Glad you mentioned that.
I'm just a big Miles Morales fan.
Yep.
So it's nice to just see him getting the shine he deserves.
Yep.
You know? Not to take anything away from Parker, but
that movie was great.
It was great. So the same production company did this movie called The Mitchells versus the Machines on Netflix.
Oh, that's not what I was thinking at all. I thought
just came out. Dude, like Maya Rudolph is in it.
Mitchells versus the Machines?
Yeah, The Mitchells versus the Machines, and it's basically like, you know, post-apocalyptic.
And just came out?
Machines have taken over, and like all these families have basically been kidnapped, and they're like one of the few families that hasn't. And so basically, by default, they're just left the only people left really to save the world.
Oh, that don't sound bad.
Dude, it's so good. It's one of those animated movies that like kids and adults will equally enjoy.
Well, kind of like the Pixar movies. They kind of do that. They kind of
some of them, yeah. I mean,
I like Pixar movies.
I like the monsters stuff. I think Toy Story is like kind of... Is Toy Story Pixar now?
Yep.
Were they always Pixar?
They were always Pixar. They were like one of their debut ones.
Okay.
I liked Finding Nemo.
Finding Nemo. That's like when I talk about my girlfriend's not really into horror movies.
Yeah.
But if you'd ask her what the scariest movie she's ever seen is, she would say Finding Nemo. Yeah. That was like, and I thought it was a joke. She's like, no, that fucking movie's sickening. It's kind of funny what she's saying, but she has a little bit of a point, you know?
Yeah, traumatizing.
And number 5, fucking Ant-Man.
I love Ant-Man.
This top 5 is definitely... maybe not definitely, but it might get me in some heat. But man,
hey, no, movies are subjective, brother. Yeah, they're your top 5.
I do like the last 2 Avengers movies, but I don't know. There's still some things I don't like in them. These 5, I pretty much think they're perfect. Even Guardians 2,
I love Guardians.
Is up there.
I know you might not because you said it was your number 1, but what? Guardians 2 I like better.
Really? Eh?
Do you know why? Because I like Yondu. And
they
did
really
good
killed
arc
it.
Yondu in that. Right?
Yeah, that was emotional, man.
And I got that shirt, the one where he says Mary Poppins, y'all.
Yeah.
And I was actually gonna wear it today. And and every time I wear it, people always I'll see people.
Yeah.
And some people will get it. They're like, oh, yo, dope shirt. And some people are like, you like Mary Poppins? I'm like, it's not Mary Poppins. It's Guardians of the Galaxy.
Get with it, guys. So what's your top
5? Okay. Number 1, I'll do it the same way you did. Number 1, and not just because I'll explain obviously the reason. Avengers Endgame.
Yeah.
Because Iron Man's my favorite character.
Mm-hmm.
And when he just... I told people... I cried when he died. I was like, oh no. It was like, that was like, to me, like, that was... and that last scene where Cap's standing and Falcon's like on your left, whatever, and Sam he comes back through and all the people like that. To me, that was like a tingling movie moment where it was like that.
No, I get it.
That and then in Avengers: Infinity War where Thor lands and he has Rocket and as soon as they land and he's got Groot and just the way that feeling was like a movie moment to me like that. So number 1 be Avengers Endgame.
Yeah.
Number 2, Into the Spider-Verse.
Nice.
That was, it's funny, when that movie came out, it came out the year, I think Infinity War came out that year.
I think so, yeah.
So I went and saw that, and I had this thing where I was like, Infinity War is going to be the movie of the year for me. I'm like, there's no movie I'm going to see this year, it's going to be better than that. And then I saw that, and I was like, oh, like, I thought it'd be okay.
Yeah.
I didn't have, because Sony... we were talking hit or miss, right?
Right. And Marvel's track record with animated movies isn't the best, but...
No. And then I saw, the trailers and stuff, and I'm like, look, it looked like a comic book. I'm like, it might be good. Mm-hmm. And when I saw it, I was like... I went back to the theaters and saw it 2 more times.
Nice.
To me, that movie really was good. Like, everything, the soundtrack, the story, the
way it looked, the visual, how they made it like a live, a motion comic kind of, you know?
That's in my top 10 of all time.
Yeah, it should be.
And I never thought I'd see... Oh, that's a great segue. That Spider-Man 2. That's in my top...
Spider-Man... Spider-Man 2...
The one, not the Andrew Garfield one. The one with Doc Ock and Tobey Maguire.
Yeah, all right, brother. Nice. I like that one, too.
Number 4... the original Iron Man.
Yeah.
I love that movie.
Yeah.
Just at the end where he's like, I'm Iron Man, whatever, how he they tie that back at the end of in Endgame, how he's like, I am Iron Man. I did that back. And another cool part, I know most people that are watching this are like fans and stuff like that and probably already know it. But the part in Endgame where Happy's with Tony's daughter.
Yeah.
And she's like, I want a cheeseburger. And then he said that in the one movie where he's like, what do you want? After come back from that cave.
Yeah.
He's like, oh, I want an American cheeseburger. And how he's like, oh, your dad liked cheeseburgers. I was like, oh, hit me in the feels.
It gets you, man, pulling on the heartstrings.
But so Endgame number 1, number 2 was Into the Spider-Verse, number 3, Spider-Man 2, number 4, Logan. I like Logan. I'm a huge X-Men fan. Some of the movies have been hit or miss. I even got X-Men tattooed on me.
Yeah.
So I mean. Logan's number 4,
That's
No,
one.
Iron Man's number 4, and then Logan's number 5.
Logan's number 5.
Yep.
That's one when you're talking about emotional moments. Like I cried in Logan.
When they did the X.
You know? Well, no, like when he is like dying, and X-23's like, Daddy.
Yeah.
She calls him Daddy, and I was just, oh, bro, like I don't even want to act like it's like that manly cry, because I was like,
yeah, no, you can't, man. It's like,
for real, in the theater, like telling my girlfriend not to look at me and shit,
right?
like.
You know,
that hit me.
Ragnarok would have been on my Ragnarok's a good list. Like Ragnarok's a good movie, but there's so many good movies like that, and I was like, no, those are my top 5. If we were to like another one that slowly gets edged, Black Panther, just because of
Black Panther too.
Killmonger.
Oh, so
you know
good.
what I tell people? If that movie was made in the 90s, do you know who would have played Killmonger? Tupac.
Oh, you think so?
You know when he does that scene where he's like, "Hi, Auntie," and he's like has that attitude type thing when he's I could picture Tupac saying that, like from Tupac and Juice and shit like that. Yeah. That same.
Who
attitude.
would be Black Panther then?
I thought you said like Eddie Murphy.
Eddie Murphy.
No, I don't say that's my choice. No, that's not my choice. But if it's in '90s,
I could see it.
Wesley Snipes maybe.
Wesley Snipes. Oh yeah.
Or if they made, I always tell people if they made Black Panther in the 1960s, John Wayne would have. He's gonna play like all the characters. But yeah, no, that's my top 5 Marvel.
All right, dude. Let's do DC then. I guess
sure.
Next, kind of roll with that. This is a thing with me, cause the Dark Knight trilogy is just to me, like outside of Home Alone 1 and 2, those are like, and I mean like if I, yeah, okay. So let me start over. The Dark Knight trilogy is for sure my number 1, and I always do like the trilogy when I put it in because it's like it's harder than choosing your favorite kid, I think. And I don't have kids, but I feel like it's just, you know, sometimes you have a kid that maybe broke your sunglasses, 3 years ago, and you're like, you just hold on to that a little bit. It's like, yeah, I remember those 200 glasses.
I'll remember
Not my favorite, but like these movies are just so well done that I always just usually, like for my superhero movies, like overall it's my number 1.
Yeah, it makes sense.
So yeah, trilogy, Dark Knight trilogy, number 1. I feel like I talk about it every episode. It's hilarious.
It's a good trilogy though.
Zack Snyder's Justice League, number 2. Did you see that?
Yeah, I loved it.
Yeah?
That was so good. When I saw it, like the obviously not the Snyder cut, but the original. Man, that was a jumbled mess. And then to see the actual, like that version.
Yeah.
Oh, so good.
Under the Red Hood. Batman Under the Red Hood.
It's a great movie.
Animated.
It's a great movie.
And Red Hood's just like one of my favorite, probably second favorite superhero or character of all time.
Yeah.
So, and that's like just that. I mean, amazing. And now they're gonna do. You watch Titans?
Oh, I love Titans.
And they're doing Red Hood for season 3.
Yep. It's so good.
I'm so excited for that, dude. And I actually like the guy that is playing him. Originally, like when I was thinking about it, I had and it's funny now that I think about it because he's also in Twilight. Who's the Okay, so you got Robert Pattinson.
Yeah. Then you got the werewolf guy.
Yeah. Do you know his name?
Jacob.
Do you know his real name though?
Not Jacob.
He did some. Not Jacob. No.
Taylor Lautner.
Taylor Lautner. Yeah, I always thought he would be a
Beat.
really good Red Hood.
Really?
Like, yeah, I saw potential in him. Like, outside of the Twilight shit. And don't get me wrong, Twilight's fucking absolutely horrible. I'm not even into vampires in general, but especially terrible Twilight is. But he's done some stuff where he's been, like, legitimately funny. And you can see he has some sort of, like, I don't know, martial arts background. I just thought he looks kind of like Jason Todd, and I thought it'd be a good fit. But this Kern Walters guy, or is that his Walters or his Waters? The guy on Titans is fucking killing it. Yeah, I think he's a perfect fit.
I love the Raven. It's one of my favorite characters. Well, and the girl that plays Raven in Titans, I think she does a good job.
Yeah, I think it's a pretty well done show.
Yeah, I like it a lot.
I mean, most people.
In my city
it's like
too,
all
right?
the complaints I really hear are just like, oh, Starfire this and blah blah blah. It's like really has nothing. So you just the costume is making you say the show sucks. Like I don't know. I don't know if that's enough.
Yeah, I agree with you on that one. I think she's pretty good at Starfire.
I think so too, man.
The whole cast is pretty good, and it's filmed in my city.
Well, that's also a plus. But I'm gonna be real, not a fan of the guy who plays Bruce Wayne. It's like it's probably my least favorite Bruce Wayne ever.
I've seen every season. The last season, when the end of, I think it's the end of the first season. We know when they go to Wayne Manor, and all the cops get taken out by Bruce Wayne by that dream sequence thing, and then she looks at Robin or whatever, like Nightwing is like you go get him or go do. After seeing all these people get taken out, it's like, yeah, I'm gonna go. Like, yeah, like you got this.
Sure, bud.
You see what this guy just did? Yeah, I'll go deal with him. Don't worry. Like, I got this.
No.
So that's your.
So what's up? 3? Yeah. Number 4, Watchmen. It's like, I mean, just as the comics, I just think it's one of the best stories in comics, I think, and I think it's one of the best stories translated to live action.
It's a good movie.
And another Zack Snyder movie.
Yeah.
A Zack Snyder nerd. Dark Knight Returns. The animated. Basically what a lot of the stuff from Batman vs. Superman.
I mentioned that movie too. I like that movie a lot.
Yeah, that's definitely one of my favorites. It was nice because you're like, oh, dude, can we do animated? And I was like, fuck yeah, let's put that in there too.
Yeah, no, because I love animated stuff. Like,
yeah.
I'm watching the 80s G.I. Joe right now.
And like as a DC fan, I'm like, oh, fuck, that's definitely one area where I think most comic nerds can agree that DC is better. All the other things, it's like
you're right on that one. So that's your 5, eh?
That's my 5, sir.
Mine, number 1 is it's it's weird. I don't know if I'm gonna include it, but The Dark Knight, the Heath Ledger.
Yeah.
Okay, so that is my favorite of the trilogy, and I know a lot of people say that same thing, right? But Batman Begins deserves more credit than it. Like, that's a good movie. Batman Begins is really good.
It is.
So I'll say The Dark Knight, number 1. Number 2, The Dark Knight Returns, the animated movie.
Yeah.
I saw that. I've seen it a few times now. Great story. Even I like how they have Green Arrow in it too, though.
Yeah.
I like Green Arrow.
Yeah.
And not many people talk about Green Arrow. That'd be number 2. Number 3, the Snyder cut, the Justice League.
Nice, man, awesome.
Number 4, Green Lantern. No, just joking. Number 4 would...
There's some decent Green Lantern animated.
Oh, there is. Number 4 would probably be Under the Red Hood.
Fuck yeah.
And number 5, see they have Long Halloween coming out.
Yeah.
That's pretty dope. But number 5 for me would be Superman 2.
Oh, wow.
Christopher Reeves, yeah.
Nice. Why that one? Reeves is your Superman then, yeah?
I like Cavill.
Yeah.
But just you know what? It's just it's one of the first movies I've ever seen of the genre, right? And when I go back and watch it, like I went back and watched it not long ago, right? I went back and watched Superman 1, 2. I didn't watch after 2.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
but
yeah.
I mean, I went back and watched the first 2, and a lot of people talk about Superman, like that one, the original, and it might not be popular with people. I don't like that movie that well. To me, it's something about it. I don't have that same feeling to it. Superman 2, where he fights Zod, and I love that movie. That movie is so good, and it's obviously it's not to the level of what movies are now, like the production wise.
Yeah.
Before its time, whatever. But when I watch something, what I try to do is I take myself out of, like, if it's made in that era, then I'm trying to watch it from that era. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I'm not going to look at it
totally.
like, well, how come they can't use a camera? They're like, come on. Like, I watch it like it's made in 1981, like, or 80 or whatever it was made. So, like, to me, that's my number 5.
No, I feel you, man. And I kind of agree in a lot of the ways that, like, when I give my opinions on movies or what I rate a movie or whatever, it's like, I think people forget, like, when they start discrediting, like, things that they used to like, or it's like, oh yeah, but it's not watchable and all that kind of stuff. And admittedly, there's certain things that I've tried to watch that I just can't get into, like maybe like the original Power Rangers, Mighty Morphin Power Rangers.
Never liked Power Rangers.
Well, that's good for you now. But like, it's like, just remember how that made you feel. Like, yeah, we're the market is saturated with this kind of stuff now, but it doesn't mean the stuff was bad back then. Like, just because technology has advanced and things look maybe a little better, doesn't mean the story's better. Doesn't mean the acting's better. Doesn't mean the writing's better.
No.
You know?
Like,
so it's...
Like, how cool is this? Is movies that, like, you know, when you talk about, like, back then, like when, Batman, with, Jack Nicholson came out. When that came out.
Yeah.
Picture at the time, you're like, holy, this is, like, Batman, like, a real live Batman's on screen. Like, that was new to people. That's, I like that. I
love those first two movies. Even Forever is kind of watchable.
Not as, but yeah, that.
It's not as good as the first two, but it's watchable. The fourth one, I don't know. I own it, but I own it just because like Batman's my guy, and I got it in like a pack. You know.
Oh, did you?
Like 4 in 1, like all the 4 in like one anthology thing.
The Batman and Robin one. When I started doing like the movie reviews. It started because I watched movie reviewers on YouTube already, right?
Yeah.
And this one guy I watch, he's American. It's Chris Stuckman. He does these things called hilariosities sometimes where he takes like super terrible movies and he just talks bad about them the whole time.
Yeah.
And they're like 18, 20-minute videos. And he did one with this other YouTube guy I watch, and they did the hilariosity on like Batman and Robin. And then there's one part where he's like, and then it shows him getting the skates. He's like, I'll just get my bat skates. And he like, and then you see, it shows the camera on him. He's like,
yo, in all honesty, those like things, they seem kind of corny to most.
Yeah.
But like, that's the shit I love. Like the Adam West. Did you ever see that Batman movie? They did a movie based on
out the bomb.
Yeah, and they're hanging from the helicopter, and he has shark repellent.
I like that.
Like, dude, that's fucking awesome. Like, he always just has something to deal with whatever he's encountered. You know?
Yeah,
I
like if
love
you saw like a snake, you'd be like, I got my snake bat repellent stuff. Whatever you need, it's there, right?
He's got, you
got a lot of stuff in that belt, Bruce. No, like I like campy stuff to a point. Like
if you know you're campy and you're playing off that, it's fine. But it's, I don't know, some things are unintentionally like that.
If you're gonna go in, like go deep.
For sure.
Yeah.
Know what you are.
Yeah.
And play on that. You know.
Yeah, I like that.
I guess we'll just go superheroes.
I'm down. Yeah, I'm always down for superheroes.
I've done mine a bunch of times. I'll go through them a little quick.
Wait, top 5 superheroes?
Top 5 superheroes.
Sounds good.
You got 5?
I do.
All right. Batman for me. Red Hood. Arsenal. I'm a big fan of like human superheroes. Like those are my favorite. Like just because I'm like, especially like in comic books, those stories are just more interesting to me. So yeah, Batman, Red Hood, Arsenal, Spider-Man, and Constantine.
Nice.
I would put Ninja Turtles in there.
I love the Turtles.
But Jam Easy gave me shit on his episode, and he said you can't put all 4 of them in one spot. So
Raphael's my favorite.
But there it is. That's man. Raphael's the dude.
And Donatello's too for me because I like purple.
Okay, there you go.
So my top 5 heroes. Number 1 is Iron Man.
Yeah.
Number 2 is Batman.
Hell yeah.
Number 3, Deadpool.
Nice.
Number 4 is one that not many people know, Booster Gold.
Oh yeah, yo. All right.
Love Booster Gold. He's a great character. Number 5 would probably be Gambit. The X-Men.
Hell yeah. You know, a lot of people... Gambit would be in my top 10.
If I had like a 10... Okay, so people in my 10 would be Green Arrow.
Yeah.
Hawkeye. Aquaman. Because those guys don't get as much love as they should.
No.
Raven. And I need one more. That would be easier. Oh, Flash.
There you go.
Flash.
There you go. Actually, I think if I was doing 10, I'd probably put Ninja Turtles, Raphael, Michelangelo, Donatello, Leonardo, and then probably...
You had the same order as I do, by the way.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, that's the same order I had.
Maybe Silver Surfer after that.
My buddy, because before I did comedy, I used to rap.
Oh, yeah?
I shouldn't have done that. But no, you change as you get older, right? And
hey man, here's the thing, man, you went for it.
I did.
You know, and you tried it. You're not gonna know if it's your thing unless you fucking go for it. So I applaud you for even
I wasn't awful. Like I wasn't bad.
Mm-hmm.
But I'd rather do comedy, right?
Fair enough.
The thing is, I used to rap with this guy, and like we're still good friends. My buddy Dave, he rapped. His name was Detox,
Mm-hmm.
and he rapped in like around. He was around for. He performed Maestro, like Chocolate. Like
Yeah.
He performed everybody, and up until like a year or so ago, because when I got my Funko Pop made, he had one made. That's how I got. I saw his. I'm like, I collect those. I need one, right?
Yeah.
So I got mine, and
I need one too. I'm definitely gonna have.
oh yeah, I'll hook you up with that. And so he sends me. He shows me. He goes, "Do you want to see what else I collect?" I'm like, "What's up?" And he sends me this picture, and I never in a million years would have expected it. He had his whole room in a house, everything turtles, like he calls it like the turtle layer. Like he has all every figure, everything.
Yeah.
And now he does he has a channel on like a thing on Instagram where he does videos and stuff. It's called the TMNT Collector, and he does like stuff like that. And he talks about he has interviews like people from the turtles and like people that have done like writing for him. He does all this stuff, and it's like. I never knew this guy even liked turtles, and then to see how big of a fan this guy was, it was
That's
like,
crazy.
And now it's like, he's got this massive following because of like his turtle, like the love of the turtles type shit. I'm like, that's pretty cool.
I wish I had, man, like I had so many different versions of the turtles
Same
and
here.
their
I had the
vehicles.
Transformers. They all
And I
got
got
thrown out.
Yeah, man, I'm so like ashamed that I just at one point was like, I don't even really know what happened to them because I moved around in foster homes a lot, but somewhere along the way,
They just got missing.
yeah, exactly, man. It's a shame.
They got I got all the Transformers and stuff too. They got like a $700 fucking Optimus Prime coming out.
Oh shit!
Like August 2nd or something.
Was it like Lego or it's just
no?
fucking?
It's actual Optimus. It's like 18 inches or 30. I don't forget, but it's like pretty tall and it transforms on its own.
Oh, nice.
And it has the voice of the original actor. And it has like. I forget how many thousands components in it that makes it transform. Yeah, $700.
Great.
And
You're
but then
gonna
like
get it?
I want it, and they said like that's American though, so it's probably like $900 here.
Yeah.
My buddy loves Transformers and stuff. He was asking me if I'm gonna get it, and then my other buddy's like, get two. I'm like, one in the box and then one to actually have it. But I'm like, first off, I'm not gonna be able to afford two.
No.
Second,
Barely afford one.
if I do get it, right? As much as I understand of keeping things in the package, I need to hear it talk. I need to hear it. I want to see it transform, yo.
I'm very much like that. Like the majority. Well, you can see I have a couple Funkos there.
Yeah.
But like I have probably about 40 in my room, all like on the shelf and
Most of mine are in
paired
the
up
box.
and things like that.
Like I keep most of mine in the packages.
Yeah.
But if it's like something like I understand what you're saying. Like, do you want to get? I get it.
I want to be able to see it all, but then I got the Linkin Park Hybrid Theory Funko.
Oh, nice.
So like they did the soldier with the wings.
Oh, nice.
They made a Funko character, and that's like, it came in this really hard plastic fucking box, and I'm not opening it. It's for sure gonna be like the only one. And like I have some pretty cool like rare ones. Like I have like $100 Red Hood one.
Oh, nice.
That was like exclusively for like some Comic-Con. I bought it off eBay because it was the only Red Hood available at the time. Now there's another one.
I have a Cobra Commander like that was exclusive, and I paid like a lot of money on eBay for it.
Got Beavis and Butthead.
Nice.
I
I have a giant Thanos.
Nice.
Yeah. My friend, she got me that for I was Christmas shopping with her for her kids, and I saw it and I was like, oh, look at that. And she's like, do you want it? I'm like, sure. Merry Christmas, son. So
yeah.
that was pretty cool.
All right, dude. I was actually kind of excited that you were into doing this one because a few episodes ago I asked somebody if they wanted to do this and they weren't really into it. Because usually I'll send people the top 5 that we're doing so they could kind of come up with their list before they do the show, so they're not fucking stumbling. But basketball players.
Ready
Do you want to go first?
Sure.
All right.
Number one, and it's the only celebrity that's ever, except for Iron Man, but that wasn't even real. It's the only celebrity that died that I cried about was Kobe.
Okay.
I love Kobe so much. And you know what's messed up about that? My niece is 10 years younger than me. And when she was a kid, I got her into basketball. She liked the Lakers, and she liked Kobe. And I was sending him, I owed her money the one day, and I was at my sister's house, and my niece was there. And one of her son had his toy on the floor. She picked it up, and she threw it into the toy box, and she said, Kobe, right?
Yeah.
Everyone does that, right?
Yeah.
And then I told her, we're talking, this is the day before he died. So I'm sitting there talking to her, and I'm like, oh, yeah, I'm going to send you that money tonight. I'm like, the password's like usual Kobe, because always the password for the e-transfer is always Kobe.
Yeah.
And she's like, all right, uncle. The very next morning, I wake up, I see the reports, and yeah, like, The Rock has died, like, a couple times. You know, you don't...
Yeah,
you know, like,
yeah.
So I see, like, Kobe died, I'm like, whatever, right? So I thought it was, like, a fake story. Then I'm seeing all of the other people, and I'm like, oh, that day, I laid in bed. I didn't eat. I didn't get up. I laid in bed from probably, like, 10 a.m. to, like, 10 p.m., because I remember it was, like... Because I remember looking at the clock, it was, like, just after 10. And all I was doing was, like, watching Kobe tributes, like, highlights, stuff of Kobe all day.
Yeah.
And then I wasn't even hungry. I wasn't even thinking. And then finally it was, like, dark. And I'm like, this whole day just went right past me. Like, this whole day is gone.
Yeah.
And I was like, I love Kobe that much. To me, like, his instinct, his killer instinct is, like, determined. He was, like, that guy that, like, when I talk, because I hate LeBron James.
Yeah, so, I'm not a LeBron James fan either. He's not on my five.
As a Lakers fan since the 80s, right? This is the first year I've ever wanted the Lakers to lose. I did not want them to win just because of James. Like, I hate him that much. When he retires, I'll love the Lakers again.
Yeah, going back, yeah.
It's like, you ever see the movie Friday?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so you know when Smokey's, like, talking about Debo, and he's like, I have mind control over Debo. When he's around, I'll be quiet. When he go away, I'll be talking again.
Yeah.
So that's my view of the Lakers right now. Like, I'm a Lakers fan. When James goes, I'll be a Lakers fan again.
Yeah, that's hilarious.
My attitude is when the Lakers are losing by, like, the other night and James went into the locker room, right? Kobe, if you're down by, like, 20, 30, Kobe's still growling. He's trying, like, he's still out there going 110. Like, he's still going at you. That's the difference. Kobe was like that. Jordan was like that. Like, James is not like that. He gets, like, you see where he, like, got elbowed? It wasn't even an elbow. And then he grabbed his head and he fell on the ground. It's like, they just showed the clip and the elbow was, like, that far from his head. And it's like, dude, like, come on, man. Like, you're jacked. You're a big man. You're 6'8". Like, you're, like, 2 whatever. You're muscled. You're, like, a big dude. I've hurt myself. And don't go, oh, like that, right? Yeah. And I'm, like, 1/4 of you, James. Like, to me, I know it's a strong word. To me, he's just a disgrace. I think he's a virtue signaling disgrace. So I don't like James. So my favorite is number 1's Kobe.
Yeah.
Number 2 is Magic Johnson.
Nice.
That's how I started liking the Lakers. He was like the guy on the team. Number 3 is Nick Van Exel.
Nice.
Not many people talk about Nick Van Exel. Number 4, Allen Iverson. I think AI was a soldier. I was gonna say number 5 was Kevin Garnett. Mm-hmm. But I'm not. He'd be my top 10 for sure. Charles Barkley would be my top 10 for sure, just because he's a character and stuff. Mm-hmm. Shaq would be my top 10. But number 5, might not be like, no one would ever say this probably in the top 5, would be John Stockton.
Oh, shit. Right.
I played high school basketball.
Stockton was the man back in the day. And, like, in all honesty, like, that was the era, like, when, like, Karl Malone and John Stockton, like, that was the era when I was really, and I'm not really into it now.
I'm not as into basketball now.
Yeah, but like, you'll be able to tell from my guys, you know, what era. But that was definitely the era I was into. I can definitely give credit to Stockton.
On NBA Jam, they were the best team to use the Jazz. I always used because Malone would get the rebounds and Stockton a Hornacek when you bring him in, they would get the threes, right?
I'd always play as Bill Clinton. I feel like there was a code for Bill Clinton. They had a lot of cool fucking weird players.
They had and then what was it? They had like the one of the mascots you could use too. I think that was it. That's pretty cool.
All right, so my 5, and I'm going to be real, and now I can't say it, but for a long time, my argument was like, I wouldn't say I'm anti-Vince Carter, but I just thought, like, there was a point when we had Tracy McGrady and Vince Carter.
Yeah.
Like, what? And then we traded McGrady. And for me, that was actually, like, probably, like, maybe a turning point in basketball where I lost a little bit of interest. Still paid attention for a bit, and then he went on to be like the leading scorer in the NBA for like 2 or 3 years in a row.
Yeah.
So McGrady is my number 1. I definitely thought we would have got a championship before we did if we traded Carter over McGrady. Not taking anything away from him. I really, he was a spectacle. He was enjoyable. He brought a lot of fans to Toronto.
Yeah.
I'll give credit where it's due, but McGrady number 1. Number 2, Jordan. I mean, he's my guy.
Jordan. I don't mind Jordan.
I really enjoyed the documentary, too.
I liked it. I didn't like him when he played, obviously, because I was like a Lakers fan. Uh-huh. And they were beating us. But
yeah.
As you get older, I appreciate him now, like, looking back. Like, he was really good.
And again, that was, like, key time when I was paying attention.
Yeah.
He might have even been the person that brought me to the NBA, like to start watching it.
Mm-hmm.
Bryant, number 3 for sure. I mean, if he's not on your top 5, what are you watching?
Yeah, exactly.
Or maybe you're like 10. Nash, bro. I think he's the only Canadian. From what I know, he's the only Canadian on my list. But, I mean, he's basically the Canadian John Stockton, right? That's how I look at him. Just
good. Yeah, you're right. Oh, yeah. Passes the ball to shoot. Yeah, no, you're right.
And then Curry, probably the only...
Steph?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Steph Curry I like too, because I can shoot threes. I like to shoot that, so I agree with Curry's pretty good.
Yeah.
That's
just
probably.
Just a good person too. Like Jordan's my number 2, and you know it could be argued like he was a little douchey back in the day from when you see in The Last Dance. Like I don't know too much about him, but I mean,
I like that.
He made it happen. It was like we're all together. Or
I like Rodman.
Rodman
was alright.
Oh fuck, Rodman was interesting, dude.
Yeah,
and he did like this little a little bit. Actually, they talk about it in the documentary, but I knew about it before with WCW.
Yeah,
he was like doing wrestling.
He was wrestling.
For a little bit. It was just ridiculous.
They wrestled that was Hogan and Mailman.
Yeah, dude, it's so true. Karl Malone too. Yeah.
Yeah, we're gonna be on WCW Thunder.
Ah man, those are the days though.
No, you got a good line. That's a good top 5, man.
And let's just do comedians. We're both comedians.
Sure.
You want to go first? You want me to go first? Yeah, you can go. Just go.
Number 1, and it's gonna sound like, because a lot of people would say he's your number 1, but just I don't care. Dave Chappelle.
Yeah.
I love Chappelle.
Yeah.
I can't get tired of watching him. He's hilarious.
Even when he's not funny, he's still engaging.
And he doesn't really care what he says. That's pretty great.
Admirable.
Yeah.
Admirable.
So Chappelle's number 1. Number 2,
sure.
Chris Rock.
Yeah.
And I've always loved Chris Rock. Number 3, a lot of people will hate on me for this. A lot of people probably don't think he's even funny, but I've seen him live. I saw Daniel Tosh live.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, I liked him. I love Daniel Tosh.
He's
funny.
His
stand-up act is great.
He's funny. I haven't seen anything from him in a while,
I've watched all of his specials, too. He had one not long ago. It was pretty good. Number 4 is a comedian's local, Quinn Martin.
Oh, dude!
Like, I've done lots of shows with Quinn, right?
Yeah. He's hosted some shows that I've performed at. He's a really funny guy.
I got engaged before. They didn't work out, obviously, but I was engaged once, and I had an engagement party, and he came and performed for that, which is pretty cool.
He's so funny,
I thought that was pretty dope. And number 5, I don't like those blue-collar comedy guys. I don't find them funny at all.
Ron White.
Ron White, yeah.
Fuck yeah, dude. That's exactly what I was going to say.
Ron White.
Wait,
he's fucking hilarious.
He does not fit in with that crew.
No, they're all
it's
like...
weird.
I went to Sears, and he's the one that's talking about, like...
They're just friends, so they're like, yeah, all right, you come with us. But, like, his comedy is on another level than those guys.
Yeah.
Even though he probably doesn't make, like... What, Larry the Cable Guy and Jeff Foxworthy probably make more money?
I think he's number 3, and the other guy is number 4. That Bill Engvall or whatever.
Oh, yeah, there is a 4th guy.
Yeah.
I almost forgot. Poor him.
Yeah.
No one fucking knows that guy.
He's like back in when they had those boy bands, like New Kids on the Block and NSYNC. He's like the 5th person that no one talked about. Right?
Yeah, totally.
What's that guy's name? They're like naming all the people like, is his name Jacob? I don't know that guy's name. He's like the
I
one
remember
guy.
his face,
and like
but I
all
didn't
the girls
they
had like the posters of the band members, and no one even cares what this.
Crossed out his eyes and shit and fucking black marker. Well, I always finish the show off with this little game, and the last little bit, been kind of getting a bunch of shitty cards, so I went through them. Probably took out about 100, so I really hope these cards are fucking good, and we can just do whatever ones we pick.
Sounds good.
So yeah, just,
Pick a card?
Yeah, you can do it after me, though.
Okay.
I'll just, read it to you, and then if there's, kind of stories or whatever we could tell based on the card.
Sure.
That's it. Do you regret your career choice?
No, because the feeling of, especially as you can understand now, because we're not being on stage, right? The feeling you get in front of people, regardless if it's 10 people, 50 people, whatever, when you make a couple people laugh, the feeling of it, it's just, to me, there's not much better than that. So, no regrets ever. I mean, it's also, even when I've like if there's been like if I bombed a few times, like which I have, but then there's been times where I've done amazing,
Mm-hmm.
and those memories will always stick in my head. They're always something that it's like a story. It's always something I'll have. So no regrets.
Yeah, I think for me, like I guess I'm transitioning into doing this entertainment thing.
Mm-hmm.
Like I eventually, obviously, want it to be my full-time job. But
Same
I
here.
went to school for culinary, man, and like in all honesty, like I don't regret learning the stuff I learned because I actually got a scholarship. Like I didn't pay a cent to go. I went to Humber for 2 years, and I learned a lot. But like, as far as the field, I think I'm over cooking professionally. Like I just. I do enjoy cooking at home and doing like things at home, but it's a stressful work environment where originally I thought I was gonna get to flex my creativity and my knowledge and do this stuff, but I'm really just like one gear of a machine.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And it's just like I just want to cook. I don't want to deal with fucking. I guess you deal with assholes everywhere, but my last. I don't know. I guess not my last job, but one of my last jobs I was at for 5 years, Moxie's, and it killed a lot of the passion that I had for the industry. So,
my buddy I'm doing the podcast with, I'm starting with, and I DJ with. He's a cook, and he tells me like similar stuff that you just did. It kills your whole passion and your moods and stuff.
Yeah, like there's some spots you can get into, like more catering and things like that, where you can actually do stuff. But
I'm opening my family and me are opening a food truck next year.
Nice.
We were gonna do it this year, but when COVID hit, I lost my job, right? And then like I wasn't doing any shows. I wasn't making any money anywhere really, right? I wasn't DJing, so it was like I couldn't be able to put the money in that I wanted because all of my family were putting their money in together, right? So we're gonna do that for next year, but because I used to cook too, right? But the passion dies when it's like. So I hear you on that one. So ask you a question?
Yeah, let's do it.
It's a good one for your name of your show, exactly, though. Have you ever said the wrong name during sex?
I don't think so. I
had an embarrassing moment, but I never said the wrong name.
I've dated girls, so I went from like a Danielle to a Michelle at one point.
Oh, it has the L.
And I called Michelle Danielle, but not while we were fucking. So,
no, it's a good thing.
But I mean, I was still in trouble regardless.
Oh, yeah,
right?
Like, it's not going to be a good thing.
Yeah, no. All right. Would you give up masturbating for a year if after that year all your future orgasms were 25% better? Ooh.
I'll say yeah, but I couldn't. I mean, like 25%
That'd be
better.
hard, man. For a year?
Nah, you know what? My aunt, what I would want to say is yeah, obviously, but because I was thinking it was gonna be way better, but
realistic,
no.
Yeah,
no.
I don't think I could.
No, I'd be out.
I don't think I could. I think I would start. It'd be like a New Year's resolution, and somewhere around like April, I'd be like, "Fuck
April."
Maybe I don't know. I've never even tried. Maybe I should like go just see how long I could go.
January, yeah, April. Holy.
I don't know. I imagine maybe I could last that long. It's like if I was like steadily getting laid, maybe. I guess it also depends if you're single.
If you're yeah,
you know, maybe that is a.
Like I've been a whole single now for like a month, 3 weeks.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's not bad.
It's not bad.
I don't know. Ask you one more.
Sure. Let's.
Ready? Would you streak up and down your street naked for $500?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I'd do that for $100. So there we go.
Okay, I actually have like some photo ideas that I want to do. Just I don't know, me standing out at the edge of my driveway.
Yeah.
At the front and just kind of maybe just in my underwear, kind of like scratching my ass, just like a shot from behind. Who knows? I don't know. I just always just think of like weird photos I can
on the
get
list
that kind of stand out.
That would stand out for sure.
Yeah. All right, let's do one more each and then fucking get out of here, sir.
Sounds good.
I don't want to do that. All right. Whew. If you were broke, would you keep a lost wallet full of cash even if the owner's ID is inside?
Nah. You know, it's funny you say that. There was a lady, and now, you been to Hamilton?
Oh yeah.
Do you know where Jackson Square is?
Is
Kind of like
it
the
kind
Bermuda
of
Triangle of heroin.
by like the GO station?
Yeah. So I was crossing the street the one day, and this lady had, those one of those like fucking carts that old ladies have. That you pull. So this lady is walking. She's probably like in her 80s, and there's like a couple people in front of her. She's going. There's people crossing this way. I was like from here to that mirror behind, like as close to her, and her wallet fell off the fucking. She had it like on top of the fucking wagon thing. So I'm like, she shouldn't have had it there. So it falls off. So I pick it up. I'm following her. I go, ma'am, here, hon. So I give her. She's like, oh, thank you. And then she asked me if I wanted like a couple dollars for it. I'm like, no, that's all good, because she's very persistent, right? Like very nice old lady.
Yeah.
She she grabbed her wallet and had it opened. I looked down. There was like hundreds. Like she had $100 bills and stuff like that. I'm like probably just got like a pension maybe or something.
Yeah.
And it's like she's probably going out doing her shopping. I'm like, hon, maybe put your wallet down more, like,
for sure.
Especially like that area of my city. Like if anyone else had to pick that up, it's gone. She would not have had that. It's like I would have like, and that poor lady probably needed that so bad, right? And it's like, oh, I couldn't have had. No, I'd return it.
Yeah, I wouldn't. Okay, up until so there's a point in my life where I like lost my wallet. I don't know why I phrased it that way, but so one day I got paid and I was gonna go to buy some weed. Rent was due, so I basically just took all of my money out of the bank at once. Basically, there was probably maybe like $50 left in my account because I living paycheck to paycheck at this point. I was like younger, early 20s, and so I have like, I don't know, $800-900 cash in my wallet, and I just got a couple things from the grocery store. I'm coming from work too, so I have my backpack and a couple bags from the grocery store, and getting close to my stop on the bus. Pull the thing, grab all my bags, I get up, I go, and I kind of put my bags down as soon as I get outside, and literally patting myself down, realize I don't have my wallet, check my bag. I literally emptied everything out of my backpack to see. Oh. I left my wallet on the bus. I imagine it was just sitting there on the fucking seat, and I went home. My weed guy ended up coming, and I was just like, oh man, like I don't even have the money. He gave me like a half quarter for free because he saw I was almost in tears. I was there. I was at the line, but I was like angry too, so I wasn't fully crying. And so I think after that, I would never keep anybody's. Maybe before that, I would have been like, ooh, free money. But since it only takes one time.
We did find free money once. There was no name on it. It was just an envelope. Mm-hmm. It was in an alley. My son, we were coming back from baseball the one day. He's like, you want to take a shortcut? I'm like, it's not a difference, Shane. Let's just keep going. He's like, let's go down. He kept whining. I'm like, fine. If he didn't return, and there was like this envelope. It was like right in the middle. I picked it up. Yeah, there was like 260, whatever in it, and I kept that.
Yeah.
But there was no name. It was like no ID.
Yeah.
It was just, I was like, you know what? Fuck, sorry. Sorry for your luck, whoever. But if there's an ID or something, I can see who the person is, and they might need that for something serious. So, obviously. So brother.
You want to do one more?
Yeah.
Get out of here.
Ready?
Boo.
No, this one's not that good.
Okay.
I'll do something better.
Damn, I didn't get rid of all the bad ones.
Nah, I want to make one that's pretty cool. Oh, here we go. Now, if you answer this one, either way you answer that, you look like a terrible person.
Oh, it's okay.
Nah.
Most people probably think I'm a terrible person already, so.
Really? A lot of people.
I don't know.
You know what? Me, it's people that know me and people that spend a lot of time with me, like me.
Yeah.
But there's people that have there's people that hate me for no reason. So it's, whatever.
That's cool.
It's life. Have you ever been denied entry into a nightclub?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah. Basically just based on what I was wearing. I think.
Really?
Yeah. Some
they
guy.
Discriminated against you.
For sure. They wouldn't let me in with Tim's one time. I actually was going to this really you know Brampton, 52nd Street?
Not really.
Okay,
no.
well they do it used to be a different name, and they used to do kind of club nights at this local bar in Brampton. And fucking I looked decent, but I had these Champion nylon pants on. Mm-hmm. and they fucking wouldn't let me in because of that. I think that's just all fucking ridiculous.
Wrong, yo.
Like, man, if I can fucking get laid in some champion pants, like, let me get laid in some champion
they
pants.
should let you in there and see what you can do.
That's what I'm saying. Like, what's the
harm in that?
Certain places, I get it. It's like you're doing like this, you know, nice
Black
thing.
tie
Everything's
event.
expensive, you know, all white, black tie, whatever the case. Sure, you know, but like, this is a shitty bar in a shitty town. It's like, just fucking let me in, bro. Like,
yeah, like how fancy are you guys? Like, come on, stop.
Not very fancy at all, dude. Not.
Nice.
But anyways, dude, we'll get out of here. You can let these people know where to get at you, Kevcast and all that stuff.
Yeah, I have a YouTube channel called the Kevcast Reviews. Right now, and I'm working on a TV show called 24 Kevin.
Fuck yeah.
Which is based on actual me, but cranked up a bit. We start filming next week.
Excited for that, dude. Maybe I could be your fucking annoying neighbor.
You can actually make a cameo if you like.
Fuck yeah, dude. I'm down.
Now that I have that on camera, now you have to, right?
You guys saw it. Yes, you know.
So, no, I do want a lot of people on cameo, so there you go. So I'm doing that. That starts filming. And then I wrote 3 episodes, almost 4 now. I'm writing it with a couple people. One of the guys I'm writing it with, I'm starting a podcast with actually 2. It's called Global Threat Podcast because that's our name of our DJing. And that's just going to be about pop culture and stuff like that. And I have another one I'm starting next week with this girl, Sarah, I know. It's called Kevin and Sam's Offensive Adventures.
Nice.
And she ran for office. Like, she's very political.
Yeah.
So she's like she's like the brains of it. I'm just the idiot guy that's going to say stupid comments.
Well, I don't think you're an idiot, dude, but it's good to come at it from different angles, you know?
But I mean, like, to the level of her, like, I think I'm very intelligent, but I mean, like, to her level. So I'm like the, I would say, even though it's called Kevin, and I'm like the sidekick, pretty much.
Gotcha.
I'll admit that. So, and plus, like, she's gorgeous, so she'll draw in, like, guys to watch, too, so that helps. So, I mean, like, that's what I got going on currently. And, yeah, until we can go back on the stage again and do stuff like that. Right now, it's pretty sad, but... You know,
well, hopefully we'll get back to it.
And we gotta stay busy, and that's why doing stuff like this. Like, I can't.
Seems like some shows are slowly starting up. I keep seeing things, so...
But I was glad that you wanted me to do this, brother. Like,
yeah, man, it was really good to meet you. Hey, meet your internet friends, yo.
Yeah.
This is the first time we met each other. We've been talking on Facebook for a bit, and fucking, it was a pleasure, brother.
And look how easy the conversation went, yo.
Hell yeah, man. I expected nothing less, though, to be honest.
Neither did I. Thanks a lot, man.
Yeah, man. Pillow Talk is brought to you by Neon Light District. Hit them up. Use code Pillow Talk to save 10%. And by The Great North Apparel. Hit them up. Use code Pillow Talk to save 30%. Check out my merch. And I'll see you in 2 weeks, guys. Peace the fuck out.